Today on Judge Faith, a tax attorney and his contractor disagree over the details of a loan repayment.
Stop talking down to me, stop belittling me, stop insulting me. When he started disrespecting me, I decided not to pay him.
So you're about to show me a contract between the two of you, something in writing.
Statute of frauds doesn't require me to.
I love how I have a tax attorney in my courtroom with the worst evidence I've probably ever seen. Don't tell me you're asking for your own fees.
And later, a Colorado mom helps her former roommate with his DUI expenses and then gets stuck with the bills.
I kept thinking in my mind that, he's trying, he's gonna come up with the money.
She took the car away, so why should I pay for a car payment that was taken away from me?
If someone gets a DUI, I would never in a million years pay the fine because they have to learn their lesson about drinking and driving. That's not on you to pay that.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Scott Smith says the defendant had lots of problems and he was trying to help him out. He's suing for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney fees. Defendant Tommy Ussery says he owes nothing because Scott asked him to do odd jobs around his home, and he worked off the money he borrowed.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Smith versus Ussery.
Thank you, Juan. Scott Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Tommy Ussery?
Correct.
For $1,950 for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney's fees?
That's correct.
Okay, why don't we start with you, Mr. Smith? Tell me what's going on here.
We shouldn't even be here. This is a very simple case. I needed my bathroom to be remodeled, and so I went online and looked for a couple of contractors, one of whom was Mr. Ussery. He came over, got a couple bids. He was the best bid. I liked him the most. Great. He started working. This case is not about his work in any way, shape, or form. His work was fantastic. He did a
Really?
great job.
Okay.
So
are you a contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you do? And you were remodeling his bathroom?
Correct.
Okay, and so you didn't know him?
No.
Prior to you hiring him. How did you find him?
Craigslist.
Okay.
That's where we find everything. Mm-hmm. I'm an attorney full-time.
Okay.
And part-time I buy rental properties.
What kind of law do you practice?
Tax law. I'm a tax transactional attorney.
All right. So you're about to show me a contract between the two of you,
See?
something in writing.
You would
right?
think so.
About this loan? Did you say you gave him?
One might think so, except number one.
I know you know the law.
Yeah, the statute of frauds doesn't require me to, though.
No, it's not required, but it certainly helps when it comes to your burden of proof,
I
doesn't
agree.
it?
I agree.
What was the conversation you had with the defendant about the money you say you loaned him?
Okay, here's what happened. He's 2/3 of the way through this job. He came in late a couple times, and I said, hey, what's the story? Why you're later? And he says, look, I had to go deal with the pawn shop. He had to pawn things to get cash out to pay people. And that's fine. I mean, everyone has their vehicle through which they get money however they need to get it. I said, is this what's holding you up? He said, yeah, I gotta go and pay them and kind of play this game with them. And he said, by the way, they're charging me a ridiculous interest rate, as they do, pawn shops do. I said, fine. Why don't I just loan you the $1,500? You pay them off, and then instead of you paying this 20% or whatever the ridiculous loan was, do a couple jobs around my house for interest, and we'll be done. He says, fine, look, here's the deal. Give me the $1,500 now. I'll give you $500 a week for the next 3 weeks as these other jobs close out, and we're fair and square. So I said, fine, you go work other jobs as well. Come over to my house, do what you need to do.
Go work those other jobs.
Get the money from that and pay me back.
$500 a week.
For the next 3 weeks.
Okay, let me ask you something. When he gave you this $1,500, did you ever go back and finish the work in the bathroom?
Every time I went back, I had to do the jobs that he required for interest.
But I'm just asking
Those
you,
came
from
before
that
the
day
bathroom
to
got
this
finished.
day, from that day to this day.
I went back to finish. He needed other things for me to do instead of finish.
Oh, instead of the bathroom, you did other work around the house.
I went back a couple times. He had a clogged drain. I went back and he said, you know what, I'd rather have the timer hooked up for the pool lights.
At some point, you stopped going over there,
yeah.
Right? And this relationship ended. Why is that?
That Monday, he said, will you pay me Friday? I said, sure. I'm thinking it's a $500 payment Friday. Well, when Wednesday comes around, I get a text that evening telling me, you gonna be here Friday to pay me? I said, sure am. And then he says, all 1,200? I was like, all 1,200? I'm 7 short. You wanted 5 at first, but now you're calling in all of it a day before? Because
so that's
Friday,
why you stopped going over there because you didn't have the money to pay him?
No, because then when Friday came along, I was out trying to work extra jobs to get him all of it, do it as best I could to get it all for him. Saturday morning came around, and I woke up to a text saying, no wonder people think what they think about you, blah, blah, blah. And, more or less talking down to me. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, then.
So that was the disrespect you said.
I told him, I said, don't
you.
talk down to me and I will pay you. I've told him that every text I've sent him. Stop talking down to me, stop belittling me, stop insulting me, and I will pay you.
But you know the best way. Do you know the best way to stop someone from texting you or talking down to you, as you say, is to just pay them the money that you owe.
And I have no problem doing that until you say or else, and then I say
or else. Or you mean he threatened you?
He said or else I'll take you to court. I said see you in court.
Or else he'll take you to court.
Or
else he'll take you to court. That's not a threat, sir. He's just saying he will exercise his right
to
pursue this legally.
And I will see you there.
Okay, so what is your defense then? Your defense is you felt like he insulted you.
Coming up, the issue of interest on the loan is called into question.
There wasn't a specified amount of interest.
There was a specified amount.
I just asked you how much interest, and you said there's no set amount. So how does he know how much work he's supposed to be doing for how much interest on this loan?
And later, Colorado roommates battle over unpaid bills.
So he was down on his luck. He didn't have a place to live, and he wasn't working. How are you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Because he just got a job.
Plaintiff Scott Smith says Tommy took advantage of their friendship. He's suing for a personal loan, unfinished work, and attorney fees. Defendant Tommy Ussery says he owes nothing because Scott was disrespectful.
When you went back and you were doing things around his house, was the agreement that work would be to pay off this $300 in interest he was charging you?
There wasn't a specified amount of interest.
There was a specified amount. Some of those jobs that I was doing.
I want to make sure I understand this. So he was supposed to do work around the house to pay off what exactly?
Instead of paying the 25% interest that he's paying every week or every month at the pawn shop.
You asked him to do extra things around your house in exchange for interest on the loan that you gave him.
Right.
I just asked you how much interest, and you said there's no set amount.
We've had a very, 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 everything was very informal.
You're a tax attorney. You deal with numbers all day. You can't even tell me how much interest you were charging him so he could know how much interest he's working off?
I'm saving him money no matter what he does.
One thing that I am concerned about, do you have a proof that you paid someone? How did you pay this receipt that you gave me? Because this is a computer printout.
Right.
Computer-generated document.
I always get cash when I can, so it's probably cash.
I love how I have a tax attorney in my courtroom with the worst evidence I've probably ever seen. You have no written contract for this loan.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Mr. Smith, you come into court and tell me it's not required by law. Of course, it's not required. Oral contracts are completely enforceable, but you have the burden of proof in your case. So you're just fortunate enough that he came in and said, hey, well, he did loan me the money.
May I interject 1 second? May I approach?
No. And then you want money for attorney's fees. Sir. Don't tell me you're asking for your own fees.
100%.
You understand that this is small claims court.
I understand exactly
right?
where we are.
So you cannot be represented by an attorney when you come in here. Just because you are an attorney doesn't mean you can charge for yourself, sir. When did this contractor finish your bathroom?
2 months ago, maybe. I let it sit for a while. That he could have come by and done it anytime he wanted to.
And on the flip side of that, sir, you admit that you didn't finish up painting the baseboards and all the trim in the bathroom, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, okay. And so, based on the evidence, you're the one that stopped the communication when he started asking you to pay him back all of the money. And if you didn't have it or you felt like he was disrespecting you, that's not a legal defense for you not paying back money that's due to the plaintiff. So how much of the $1,500 did you pay back?
I
How much did he pay back, sir?
$100-something.
$300 total.
You can't, Mr. Smith, have someone working around your house for interest without telling them how much that interest is going to be. Because as you know, there's only a certain amount of interest you can charge for personal loans. See, you know it. You know the law. Based on all the testimony I've heard here today, sir, and your admission in court that you borrowed this money and agreed to pay it back, you're going to have to pay back the plaintiff. I find your defense of him disrespecting you to be insufficient. $1,200, that's how much you owe on the loan, in addition to the $250 he paid to have the bathroom finished. That's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $1,450. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you. I think the judge was fair. I'm a little disappointed that she didn't give me attorney's fees.
It was fair. I mean, I knew it wasn't legal to tell him that just because he disrespected me, I wasn't gonna pay him, but if you tell me or else, show me the or else.
Plaintiff Robin Gray says she loaned the defendant money because she was trying to help him out. She's suing for back rent, phone bills, food, car damages, and car payments. Defendant Mike Gomez says he doesn't know because Robin is a scam artist with a history of extorting money from her roommates, and there is no agreement in writing.
Robin Gray,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Mike Gomez
Yes.
for $8,399. You say he owes you for several things: back rent, food, household expenses, phone bills. You say you paid his probation, you paid for car damages, you've paid car payments for him, and it's totaled over $8,000 over the last few years, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you tell me how you know the defendant and what's going on here?
Approximately about 2012, a mutual friend of ours called and asked about him needing a roommate, asking me if I needed a roommate. And he was just down on his luck, so I agreed to say, come on, yeah, you can rent my basement. I give you a few months to get on your feet, and then you got to start paying rent. Well,
Who was living with you at the time?
me and my children,
How many children?
2.
How old are they?
They're 11 and 9.
Okay.
And during the time, he was having a hard time down on his luck. He was between jobs. He'd work.
What's in the basement? A bedroom or a total separate living area?
Just an unfinished basement. We put down a bed. I made sure there was bed, there was cable, there was couches. He still had
And
to
you
come
weren't at all
upstairs.
concerned about a man you don't know moving into your house with your 2 young kids?
A mutual friend that we had, I've known for years and really trusted that, and
You trusted your mutual friend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the agreement in terms of rent?
That he would pay for rent, food, personal items.
How much a month?
$600 a month.
Okay, and did you put that in writing or was it just a verbal agreement?
At the time, I did not put it in writing. It was a verbal agreement.
Okay, so tell me what was going on with you at the time.
At the time, I did have a job.
What were you doing for work?
I was a supervisor at a warehouse.
At any point did you fall behind on your rent?
Yeah, I did.
And that was in
That was-
2013?
Yes.
So in 2013, you know at this point he's falling behind on his rent. He doesn't have a lot of money. He's up and down in the job market. Am I correct? How do you then loan him over $2,800 for a cell phone bill, the home phone bill? You pay his probation he was arrested for a DUI?
Yes, ma'am.
You pay that as well, you claim. You pay over $1,900 for damages to his car. I just don't understand why you say you're lending him all of this money when this is clearly someone who's broke.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the former roommates find out the hard way not to mix money with friendship.
I was trying to help him out, and he was good with my kids, and he was really good. I really thought it was gonna really work out.
If he wasn't working, how were you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Plaintiff Robin Gray says Mike is a user who owes her money. She's suing for back rent, phone bills, food, car damages, and car payments. Defendant Mike Gomez says he doesn't owe because Robin is trying to extort money from him.
So he was down on his luck. He didn't have a place to live. And he wasn't working. How were you expecting him to pay $600 a month?
Because he just got a job. That's why I gave him 2 months to sit there and try to get on his feet so that he could eventually pay me.
Okay.
He did start paying, but at the time, he ended up being 2 to 3, 4 months behind because I was trying to help him out. And he was good with my kids, and he was really good. I really thought it was gonna really work out.
What happened with the DUI?
I got stopped for DUI.
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
Well, I did 30 days in jail, and then I had to pay fines.
You pled guilty to the DUI?
I did.
Was it
And-
your first DUI?
Yeah, second one.
The second one?
Yes.
You spent 30 days in jail. Was your license taken away?
It was.
And why did you pay the fines?
Because I figured if he worked and got on his feet that he would pay me. And so I kept thinking in my mind that, he's trying, he's gonna come up with the money, he's going to. When he got the DUI, I thought, okay, if I help get his license back, that means he can go to work, that means he can pay me.
If someone gets a DUI, I would never in a million years pay the fine for them. You know why? Because they have to learn their lesson about drinking and driving. That's not on you to pay that. Why would you pay that? It's his second DUI. his second DUI, he's in jail. You pay your own fine.
Right.
What happened with the car? What's your reason now for loaning him money for a car? It's 2015 at this point. He hasn't paid you back. It's not your responsibility to find a way for him to be able to go to work. He's a grown man. You have 2 children. The reason why I'm coming down on you about this is because you have 2 kids that you have to take care of, and you cannot take the responsibility for a grown man for over the course of over 2 years. He doesn't have a steady income or a steady job, and he gets a DUI. He's drinking. He has time to hang out with his buddies. Once I can understand you helping him out, but continuing to do this, you have to own some of the responsibility of this for yourself. How does he owe you $215 for a loan and the check bounced?
He wrote me a check, and he stopped payment, and it bounced, yes.
Why'd you do that?
She took the car away, so why should I pay for a car payment that was taken away from me?
So when were you going to send her the money for the other $2,400 that you acknowledge you owe? That was the next check you were going to write?
No, I told her that what I can afford is I can give her $100 a month, and she didn't want to go. She just said no. You know, I'm offering to pay it back.
Yeah.
That's what I can afford. So
and she's turning it down. She's told you, I don't want you to pay me $100 a month. That's not good enough. So in your mind, to you, that says, looks like I'm good.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
She's turning down the money. At this point, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay.
No, I
That's what you're thinking?
That.
Because
No.
if she said that to you, you know why she said that to you? Because she's telling you that's not enough. That's not enough of an effort. Did you tell him that?
I didn't. I told him that it's not enough of money to pay.
Look at there.
Oh.
So what you gonna do, Mr. Gomez? You owe her money. What's your defense for not paying it?
I was offering to give her.
Have you
what
given
I
her
could.
any money since you stopped the payment on this check?
No, I haven't.
There you go. Doesn't look like you're paying it, sir. Doesn't look like you're even trying to pay it. The last attempt you made to give her money, you stopped payment on the check. So here's what we're gonna do. Obviously, you're not gonna be awarded over $8,000 here today because you know you already made the agreement, right? We're here today because you haven't lived up to your part of the agreement, and that's what I'm here to deal with. You understand?
Right.
Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want me to go back through 2 years of household expenses, food, phone bills. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to deal with the things that we dealt with in court today because, you know, you have to take some responsibility in this as well because at some point when someone is not paying you back and you keep giving them money and you say, oh, because I want him to continue working, you have to make a judgment call, right? This is someone who has a debt. He's not paying it back. I should not be giving him more money. So you have to take your part and your responsibility in this too, because as they say, you don't throw good money after bad. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So here's what we're going to do. The 2 expenses that we covered here today that he concedes he owes for, one of those being back rent and includes the household expenses because the way you lump the rent together, and the second being the fine for the DUI. So I'm going to award you a judgment today, ma'am, for a total of $2,400. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,400. Good luck.
I want to say to Mike that I hope you learn that you can't take advantage of people and of good gestures, and I hope that you do better in your own life.
Sorry for whatever happened, and it is, you know, for the outcome and everything, and I'm glad you're happy with what you got.
Today on Judge Faith, sometimes a bad boy can be good for a girl.
I was shocked that she tried to hit on me at a funeral, but me being me, you know, I'm a ladies' man, so, you know, I gave a little conversation.
He came in that starched jeans, jersey, hair braided, gold, thug. It turned me on.
Are gold teeth still a thing?
And later, she had 99 problems, but cable wasn't one.
Who wants to go
go to somebody and be like, I'm struggling. They don't know what it's like to struggle. They got mommy and daddy.
I went to my mom and asked her about it, and she said, I need to get the bill out of my name.
Why is the cable bill in her name? Don't tell me, well, Judge, I have to watch Empire on Wednesday nights. I need my cable.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Lakeisha Stewart says her ex-boyfriend signed a promissory note agreeing to pay 2 months' rent and the dog food bill for her pit bulls. She's suing for rent and dog food. Defendant Shannon Wallace says he doesn't owe any money because his ex kept the dogs, and her false accusations forced him to move out of the house.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Stewart versus Wallace.
Thank you, Juan. Lakeisha Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Shannon Wallace?
Yes, ma'am.
For $580, $380 in back rent, and $200 for dog food?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't we start with you and you tell me what's going on here?
I met Shannon at one of my friend's funeral. You know how, like, you dress in black to go to a funeral, right?
Sometimes.
He didn't come in there like that. He came in there starched jeans, jersey, hair braided, gold, thug. It turned me on. So I wanted to talk to him. So I went
gold
up.
what?
Had gold teeth in his mouth.
When was this?
This was in 06.
Okay. Are gold teeth still a thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Apparently so, for you,
Yeah,
right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
For me, yeah.
So that caught my eye, and I wanted to talk to him. So I went up and started talking to him, and we hit it out from there. And we've been together since 06.
I was shocked that she tried to hit on me at a funeral, but me being me, you know, I'm a ladies' man, so, you know, I gave a little conversation. You know, I mean, one thing led to the next, and guess who we is, you know?
So what happened over the course of these 9 years? How did you end up here today?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Your Honor. I'm baffled, you know what I mean? It's like,
So you fell in love with her at some point?
Yeah, I did, and boom. Okay, with that being said, really, I mean, you know, I love this woman. You know what I'm saying? We've been together this long. She wasn't, and I don't mean this in a bad way, you know, please don't look at me wrong when I say this, but, you know, she wasn't my type of girl, you know, physically or whatever, you know, she wasn't my type of girl, but over the years,
Are you serious?
No, I don't mean it like that, but I grown to love her for who she is, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, yeah, for real. So, I grown to love her. So, you know,
So initially you made a judgment call based on her looks, but as you got to know her,
Exactly.
you fell in love with who she was on the inside as well as the outside.
I'm still, you know, still together until whatever this happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then, like, it's sometime in November of 2014. Some gave me the intuition that he was doing something he didn't have no business doing. So we was laying in the bed.
Oh my! I was asleep, Your Honor.
We was laying in the bed.
I don't know what happened. I was asleep.
Let her talk.
I seen a flash in a room, and I'm like, where that light come from? That's not my phone. It was his phone. So I had to ease on out the bed and get on my knees and start crawling to the side of his bed. So I got his cell phone, so I had to crawl on out the door to crawl to the living room. So I goes through his phone. What I see him talking to 2 females.
No.
So now I'm hot. So I goes back, this time I didn't crawl, I walked to the room. And I say, what is this? And I chunked the phone at him. And he denied, and I told him, what you do is you go get your stuff and get out of my house.
I'm the victim, Your Honor.
So then I say, he did pay his portion of the rent and stuff that month. So I say, I'm gonna be nice enough, you stay in the other room.
So you were also splitting the rent in this apartment where you were living in. He was paying half, you were paying half.
Yes.
Okay.
So I told him, you done paid your portion of the bills, you can go on and stay here for this month.
Is it true that you were having what she describes inappropriate conversations with women on Facebook?
No, Your Honor, it wasn't like that. Okay.
Wow, you know God looking at you. Don't
Yes,
story.
I know.
Don't story.
Your Honor, it's like this. It's like this, Your Honor. See, I can't control who messages me on Facebook. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
But
cannot
you
control
don't have
that.
to talk back to me.
Miss Stewart, Miss Stewart.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Say, for instance, if you message me on Facebook, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? You
Don't
know,
put
I'm
me
just
in this
saying.
hypothetical.
Just saying, yeah, just hypothetical, of course.
somebody
You know,
said
I'm just saying, you know, but just because I message you back don't mean I'm having a relationship with you. You get what I'm saying?
Coming up, who gets the dogs after a divorce?
I have 2 dogs that he bought me. He called me last week saying that he was going to come get the dogs.
I want them back.
You're not going to get them back. And if he comes to my house and try to get them back, it's going to be a big fight and I'm going to call the laws. And he's going to go to jail because he's going to be on my property.
Oh my goodness.
And later, friend today, gone tomorrow.
You were living with your boyfriend.
Yeah, we were living together and we had broke up and everything was in his name. And we broke up and he cut everything off.
And so she put the utilities in her name, and the agreement was what?
Was that she could not pay the bill, then she would let me know or she was going to be late.
And did that happen?
No, it did not.
Plaintiff Lakeisha Stewart says her ex-boyfriend signed a promissory note agreeing to pay her back. She's suing for rent and dog food. Defendant Shannon Wallace says he doesn't owe any money because his ex kicked him out of the home and refuses to let him take the dogs.
So in January, he got laid off his job. He still had nowhere to go. He got laid off his job. And he was like, I got laid off, but I got a new job that'll start next week, and I'll be able to pay you if you're gonna pay my portion of rent for January. I said, okay, I have no problem with doing that because in the past, you have paid. So then he didn't pay nothing in January. February came around. Now I'm really mad. I'm finna kick him out. And he was like, well, I get my check next week and I'm gonna pay you for January and February then. I'm gonna get up on my feet and I'm gonna move out. He didn't pay nothing in February. So March came around, I threw him out.
What happened with rent? You didn't pay rent in January and February? You did not pay rent?
No, I did not. Yeah, I'm telling you, I didn't.
What do you say you have? A
I
statement?
have 2 dogs that he bought me. He called me last week saying that he was going to come get the dogs.
Yes,
Now, remind
yes.
you that we had these dogs since from a pup on up. I have a daughter. Them dogs protect me and my daughter.
I want them back.
You're not going to get them back. And if he comes to my house and try to get them back, it's going to be a big fight and I'm going to call the laws. And he's going to go to jail because he's going to be on my property. And it's just enough said.
Oh my goodness.
You chose to keep the dogs. Why should he be paying for dog food?
Thank you.
This was the agreement that we paid. He paid for dog food. But now that I see that I'm not going to get, I had to pay for January and February because he wasn't gone. He left, Your Honor, and left the dogs there with me. So
Well, you kicked him out. He didn't leave.
Well, okay,
Jeez, again.
but I had to buy dog food. I had to buy dog food for them, and if he gonna come back and get them.
Okay, ma'am, you have not explained to me why he is legally responsible for paying for dog food.
Because he supposed to pay for the dog food. I never supposed to pay for the dog food. I never paid for the dog food. He buys the dog food all the time. I just started
So then
paying
give him
in
the
January.
dogs. If you want him to take care of the dogs, then give him the dogs.
That I don't
If you want to
have.
keep the dogs, you take care of the dogs.
Okay, well then, right is right, wrong is wrong. I give him 1 dog, and he paid me half of the dog food that I done bought, and I keep the other.
You guys can work that out amongst yourselves. Let me ask you something. Up until when you threw him out, were the 2 of you still romantically involved?
No.
How long had it been since the 2 of you actually officially broke up? You threw him out in March. When did you break up?
In December of 2014.
So legally, this is one of those murky kind of legal cases because the 2 of you lived together for so long. It's almost like a common law type of issue. You were together for 9 years. And although legally under the law, what you did is you performed an illegal eviction by kicking him out. This isn't the typical landlord-tenant type of relationship. So I'm going to assess, so if you were in housing court right now and you took her to housing court for illegally evicting you for non-payment of rent, what the court would do is mitigate the damages, look at both of the circumstances and decide who should be paid what for what damages. So I've done that in this case, and I've decided, 1, although you signed a contract that you would pay for dog food. I'm not going to order him to pay for any dog food. You kept the dogs, you have the dogs, and I can't order you not to pursue getting those dogs back, but I think probably in the best interest of resolving conflict between the two of you and in the best interest of her daughter, who I'm sure you now had a very long relationship with, and her daughter loves and cares for these dogs, my advice would be just to let it go, and especially if you know the dogs are being well taken care of. Okay, just be the bigger person if that's what it takes. But what I am going to order you to do is I am going to order you to pay those 2 months of rent in addition to court costs, okay? So verdict in this case for the plaintiff, $380. Good luck to both of you.
Plaintiff Morgan Profit says she felt sorry for her former friend when she put a utility and cable bill in her name, but then discovered it wasn't being paid. She's suing for unpaid bills. Defendant Brandy Sennett says she doesn't owe any money because Morgan ruined their friendship when she cut off her utilities. She's countersuing for emotional distress. She's accompanied by Natasha Sennett.
Morgan Profit?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Brandy Sennett for $648 for an unpaid utility and cable bill?
Yes.
And you were countersuing, ma'am, for $500 for emotional distress?
Yes.
And you brought a witness with you today, Natasha Sennett?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll start with you, Ms. Profit. Tell me what's going on. How do you know the defendant?
Well, we met in July 2013 when I got hired on at the same gas station that we work at, and we started hanging out a lot. We became very best friends very fast, and around August of 2013, her and her boyfriend had split up, and she had asked me if I would put my name in her utility bill because of an outstanding balance on her old one from a couple of years ago, and also
you said
a deductible.
no, right?
No.
Okay.
So I told her, you know, I thought it was kind of weird, but...
Why did you ask her to put your utility bill in her name?
Well, we were best friends, and I had a prior bill, and he just, they got cut off all of a sudden, and I needed to have my power back on.
You were living with your boyfriend?
Yeah, we were living together, and we had broke up, and everything was in his name, and we broke up, and he cut everything off.
In your state, you're in Ohio, is it the gas and electricity, everything together?
Yeah, it's all on one bill.
Okay, and why couldn't you get that bill in your name?
Because I owed a previous bill, it was over $600. I tried to get government assistance, but there was no assistance at the time. And I don't really have no, close friends or family, and Morgan's the closest thing that I have. So I asked her, just for as a friend-to-friend favor, and she agreed to it.
And so she put the utilities in her name, and the agreement was what?
Was that if she could not pay the bill, then she would let me know, or she was going to be late.
And did that happen?
No, it did not.
Coming up on Judge Faith, every betrayal begins with trust.
I didn't steal nothing from her. I still have the piece of paper today when we had the discussion about her health. I have her name, her social security number, her birth date.
You gave them all that information?
Yes. My mom's the one that said it was identity theft. I did not.
Don't do this again.
Plaintiff Morgan Profit says her former friend stopped paying a utility and cable bill. She's suing for unpaid bills. Defendant Brandy Sennett says she doesn't owe any money because Morgan cut off her utilities. She's countersuing for emotional distress.
So everything was fine for about a year, and then October 27th, I heard from a mutual friend that she was behind on it and her utilities actually got cut off, and she had to pay over $500 to even get it turned back on. So I had no idea what to do, so I went to my mom and asked her about it, and she said I need to get the bill out of my name. Well, she had those 4 kids still living with her.
Wait, what 4 kids?
Her
My
sister.
sister
Those are my
and
kids. I have 4 children.
Okay, so what was going on?
Me and my 4 children at the time, I was living at a place where the landlord ended up taking my money and skipping state. So I had to move in back with my sister. During that time, my sister had surgery done, and we was all trying to help each other out. But she was just basically trying to help me with my 4 kids to help me get on my feet.
So you're living together in this apartment?
Yes.
At no point can you pay back your back due utility bill and get this? How old are you?
I'm 20.
How old were you at the time?
19.
And you were?
30.
Even if in the very beginning, right, you needed some help and you went to her and said, hey, can you help me out? Can you put this bill in my name? Both of you were in the house. I'm assuming you're working.
At the time, I was a college student. So I was working and going to school, but I had to make the option.
And how old are you?
I am 31 now.
You're two grown adult women living in a household. Why do you have your bills in a 19-year-old's name for over a year?
Help at the time. I mean, financially, you know, I was working at a gas station, and the money wasn't right. I was just making enough to, you know, make it. With the $500, when it did get cut off, that wasn't just like from not paying the bills for months and months. That was actually a month. That's how high my utility bill was for a month.
Did you go to her and say, hey, I can't pay this bill?
No, I just, you know, who wants to go to somebody and be like, I'm struggling? And they don't know what it's like to struggle. They got mommy and daddy, and they don't know what it's like.
We had an agreement, though, about me putting
and you also knew the situation she was going through.
Oh, so let me understand this, sisters. So you're saying that you know, this 19-year-old doesn't have the perspective that you all do as the more mature adult ones, right? Living as grown women, making your own decisions. Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with you on that. Because that's probably why you went to her in the first place, because you knew she was old enough to do it, but young enough to actually be silly enough to do it.
No, I didn't force her to do it. She knew my situation. You know, it was a favor. It was a friend helping another friend.
Why is the cable bill in her name? Utilities, I understand, you know, hey, I need my lights on. I have 4 kids living in the home. Why is the cable bill in her name? Don't tell me, well, Judge, I have to watch Empire on Wednesday nights. I need my cable. Cable is a luxury. Cable is a luxury. Why is the cable bill in her name?
I wanted cable when I could afford it at the time, so it was just a friend helping another friend. I would have done it for her.
No, you're taking advantage of her.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
What's your counterclaim about?
Well, I filed for emotional distress because when I did have surgery, the day after I came home from I could have died. I have a picture of me being in the hospital. I had my gallbladder taken out, but before that had happened, and why I did get behind, I was missing days from work because of this. She was aware of my situation.
Yep.
So eventually I did go to the hospital. I had my gallbladder removed. I came home. 2 days later, I get a call from my landlord. The utility company called me. They said that they're cutting off your utilities for, said I was doing identity theft. I didn't steal nothing from her. I still have the piece of paper today when we had the discussion about her health. I have her name, her social security number, her birth date, everything I needed.
You gave them all that information?
Yes. My mom's the one that said it was identity theft. I did not.
Don't listen. Don't do this again.
Oh,
okay?
Yes, I know
As a matter of fact, I need to feel more comfortable about when you leave here today, your decisions that you're going to make going forward. If somebody comes to you and they say, I need some money, can you put a loan in your name and give me some money? What are you going to say?
No.
If somebody comes to you and they say, I need a cell phone, but I don't have the credit, would you get a phone from me in my name? What are you going to say?
No.
Okay. If they come to you and they say, can I borrow some money and I will pay you back when I get my income tax refund, what are you going to say?
I'm going to say no.
That's right. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $648.33. Your counterclaim is dismissed. The two of you need to be ashamed of yourselves.
Today on Judge Faith, one man's hoopty is another's hot rod.
It's hard for me to talk about the car. That's my baby, you know?
He was just calling me saying, I want my money. You did just hit my car.
So I see there are several parts of your car that are damaged. What do you say he caused?
Well, okay, the hubcap, that was prior, you know.
So you always drive around with a missing hubcap on the car that you love so much?
And later, a soothing trip to the spa results in an unhappy ending.
So eyes closed, I'm laying there, and she shoved her fingers deep into my ears and started rotating clockwise with my head moving like that, trying to massage, I think, my brain inside.
If you don't like this, You just say stop or no, they will understand well.
This is your day in court. You gotta, if you're gonna make this happen, you gotta make it happen today.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his prize ride into a pillar and promised to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley admits he caused the damage, but claims he doesn't owe anything because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Clemens versus Hunley.
Thank you, Juan. Daniel Clemens?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Richard Hunley,
Yes.
for $3,000 for car repair costs?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $3,000 for harassment and slander?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Clemens. How do you know the defendant?
I know the defendant from 4 years ago. We met because we were sent to the same assignment. We were with a temp agency, and we were the only ones that had that really energetic spirit. So we really hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. Well, I mean, we were friends up until the incident with my car. It's hard for me to talk about it. Just the car. That's my baby.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Clemens prior to this incident?
A real good relationship. We hung out outside of work, so much so prior to that, he came to me and he asked for a loan, and I lent him some money.
And he paid you back?
No.
Oh, okay. You're not countersuing for a loan.
No. This is, I'm countersuing for
harassment,
but part of me feeling like I'm not, obligated to pay is because I wasn't paid back the money that I loaned him.
Okay. Why don't we talk about how we got here today?
We were at the mall. We were there, and I didn't feel like driving that day, because I was kind of tired. So I said, you could drive,
And so you let him drive the car that you love so much?
Often, Your Honor.
Do you do that often?
He's done it before, yeah.
So you asked him to drive as a favor because you were tired?
Yeah.
So he did a favor and said, okay, I'll drive your car for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're in the parking garage of the mall, and he's pulling off, and he turned too soon, and he kind of scraped the bumper pillar when he was turning.
What kind of car is this?
It's a 1999 Grand Marquis, the ultimate car.
Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, I drive a 2000 Grand Marquis as well.
It's nice.
Okay, so I see there are several parts of your car that are damaged. It's missing a hubcap. There are some dents along the side.
Well,
what do you say he caused?
Well, okay, the hubcap, that doesn't have anything to do with this. That's just something that was prior,
So you always drive around with a missing hubcap on the car that you love so much?
Well, it's kind of a thing. People like it. They talk about it like, oh, wow, you're so, innovative and stuff like that. So,
Can you walk over to the flat screen and show me where you say he hit your car in the parking garage that day?
Okay, basically it started from here, as you can see, this dent. It was just like, grrr, and I was just like, I was just like, what was that,
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Hunley.
Drama.
Mr. Hunley, what do you say happened, sir?
Coming up, a driving demonstration in court.
Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
He was basically talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space.
And later, magic fingers, or lethal weapons.
And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it.
Have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
That's not the way he's describing it.
Plaintiff Daniel Clemens says his former friend backed his car into a pillar and is refusing to pay for the damage. He's suing for the cost to repair the car. Defendant Richard Hunley says the accident wasn't his fault because Daniel was distracting him. He's countersuing for harassment and slander.
I drove down there, so naturally I got in the driver's side and we were leaving. We were fussing because I wasn't ready to go, he was ready to go. And he was gesturing with his hands as, I'm trying to, get out of there.
What was he doing with his hands? I want you to show me. Demonstrate. Actually, Juan, would you step over there next to the defendant? So now you're driving. Juan is the passenger.
Oh. Well, no, he would have to be the driver.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. Juan, you're driving. You are the plaintiff as the passenger.
Right. So
show me what he was doing while you were driving the car.
All right, so yeah, you're looking at me and we're talking and he's, gesturing with his hands like this.
So you're not looking at the road, you're looking at him.
Him and the road. Because, peripheral, I can see.
So you're driving using your peripheral vision.
At all. Yeah.
And so you're looking at him, and he's doing what with his hands? Juan, please put your hands up like you're driving. Show me what he was doing.
He was basically talking like, what's going on? You think I'm crazy? Just all in my space. Just, all in my space.
Okay.
So, as soon as I felt I was close to the podium, I stopped. So,
Thank you, Juan. So after he starts gesturing, then you hit the concrete pillar. What happens?
It was still, kind of the heat of the moment. I was trying to, not cause a scene. And so I was like, just get in the car. It's not that bad. I'll take care of it.
Okay, so you did offer to take care of it.
Well, at the time, it was just to dead the situation. So
you didn't really mean it. You just said it to.
Well, no, because in the back of my mind, I still was thinking he still owes me $300.
Why are you suing for $3,000 when the car is only worth $1,500?
It's just about the principle and just,
I'm not here to teach lessons, sir. I'm here to make an assessment based on the law and the amount of damages to your car.
The auto people, they gave me the estimate. It's $3,000 worth of damages.
You're telling me it's going to be $3,000 to fix the scrape on the side of that car?
It's more than the scrape, the dent. It was a dent, a scrape, and then a scrape. A dent, scrape.
Why are you countersuing for harassment?
I'm countersuing for harassment because he left harassing messages on my phone.
No.
Did you do that?
I did not. I'm not harassing him.
He was just calling me saying, I want my money. You did this to my car. You said you was going to take care of it type thing.
Do you have any evidence of the harassment?
Just the voicemails. And then
Let me hear
friends.
voicemail. Let me hear the voicemail.
What's going on? I mean, you said you were going to give me the money for the damage that you did to my car, and now you're playing games. I want the money. I'm not playing with you. I want my money.
It's threatening.
Okay? You said you were going to take care of this, and now you're acting like you don't know what's going on. All right? I want the money. I'm tired of playing games with you.
And that was just one of many.
Okay, so let's go over how this is harassment. He said, you said you would give me the money. Is that harassing you? Is that a threat?
No, that's not a threat.
I want my money.
What money?
You said you would give me the money. Surely you know what he's talking about. So why are you saying what money? You know what he's talking about. You drove the car. You damaged the car. You were negligent. You're saying that he contributed to your negligence by waving his arms in the air. I don't find that testimony to be credible. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff the value of his 1999 Mercury Grand Marquis, $1,542, and get a hubcap on that car while you're at it. Justice for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says his inner ears were injured during a full body massage, and his insurance only covered a portion of the expenses. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says Aaron was very demanding, but refused to provide her with doctor bills. And there is no way her massage technique could cause injury. She's accompanied by Irma Burnett.
Aaron Baroni?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Mary Ding, for $5,730 for out-of-pocket medical expenses, including doctor's visits, medication, lost wages, and pain and suffering?
Yes.
And you know the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning, sir. Tell me what's going on here.
I went to the defendant's massage parlor in Burbank, and basically, I went for a nice massage, but it ended up being the massage from hell. The masseuse, around the 45-minute mark is when they flip you around and put you on your back, and then they start doing your front. So basically, that's when the masseuse had her fingers were all lubricated with oil and lotions.
Mm-hmm.
So eyes closed, I'm laying there, and she shoved her fingers deep into my ears and started rotating clockwise with my head moving like that, trying to massage, I think, my brain inside. So it was really deep in, and it took me about probably, I would say, 8 to 9 seconds to realize what was going on, because I was not in that state. I was relaxing until I told her to stop, and she stopped, and obviously it hurt.
Are you the owner of the massage parlor, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you been in business?
Burbank, this one, 2 years.
Okay, and are you the masseuse that gave him the massage?
No, I am her friend and a faithful customer of Mary.
Oh, you're a customer?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of massage did you get that day?
Normal body massage.
Okay.
I mean, I get massages probably once a month for the past, I would say, 10 years, because I work out often and I need it once a month at least. And never in my life have I ever had anyone, I mean, it's really unsanitary to stick your fingers that deep in. And the nails actually did cut inside my ears. There was abrasion cuts inside it, because she went really deep and really hard.
Were you experiencing any pain?
When she was doing it, yes.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, no.
Okay.
Until nighttime. Nighttime, when all night I was up. So in the morning, I just texted my boss, said, hey, I'm not coming in, because I was up all night. So, or in the afternoon, I decided to go into the defendant's office and tell her what happened, because it was really bothering me. And I went in there, and she said, her defense was, it's normal practice, and she gets her ears massaged inside once a week, she claimed.
Is that true?
Yes, Helen, I picked her to do my massage. That's why
Helen is your masseuse with that day?
That day was,
okay.
Yes.
And have you had this kind of massage before inside of your ears?
Yes, and actually, Helen, I had Helen for 2 years. She's my favorite masseuse, and she never hurt me. Never.
And you had this massage in your ears?
She comes, but it's not the way he's describing it. Yeah.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the numbers don't add up.
Nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay.
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
Plaintiff Aaron Baroni says he was injured during a full body massage. He's suing for out-of-pocket medical costs. Defendant Mary Ding says there is no way her massage technique could cause injury.
Okay, can you demonstrate? I understand you brought your massage table. You want to demonstrate to me the procedure that you
yes.
did.
Only when we only have 10 or 15 minutes on the head. We're pretty good on the head or like this. But for the ear, Helen does like this, but only touch, here, this area. And maybe have some pulling like this, but not only like this, only less than 1 minute or 2 minutes. That's all. If you don't like it, I always talk to the customer. If you don't like this, you just say stop or no. They will understand well.
Okay, and is there any reason why Helen isn't here today to testify about what happened that day?
Helen knows English.
She doesn't speak English?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Have there been any previous complaints by customers about this kind of massage?
Never, only him.
Once I went there the next day to complain, everything was fine. I got her insurance information just because I wanted to say, I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. When I spoke to her the week after and I told her, hey, I went to the doctor says I have abrasions inside my ear. It was literally constant pain the whole day without the medication. I literally had to drop every 45 minutes. You have to put a drop in there. She said that she'll only pay for my stuff if I go to her doctor, because she doesn't take the word of my doctor.
No.
And I said, listen, I'm not going to different doctor offices. I already know what my doctor is.
I asked him if he still hurts something like this, I can bring him go to see the doctor. But he says no. And then I ask if you already see the doctor, you give me the bill, I will pay it. That's all.
And
but he says no.
And did you submit a bill to her?
No, I didn't, because she wasn't cooperating.
What was the date of the massage?
The date of the massage was January 8th. It was a Thursday.
And let me see your medical bills.
It's the prescription and the doctor's bill with the doctor's note.
Do you have any medical records?
No, that's just the note from the doctor.
I have an excuse slip. Was this given to your office?
I had the doctor write that so I could submit it to work because I had to take a week off.
See, I don't have your medical records. I just have here that you were seen in his office for external ear canal abrasions.
I have insurance, so insurance paid for obviously for most of it. It's just the only out-of-pocket cost was the week that I was out of work and just the co-pays.
Your out-of-pocket expenses, one $30 fee for going to the doctor and one $60 prescription bill.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, show me where the 7 days you say you weren't paid for are reflected on these documents, because you say you missed 7 days of work. I don't see it on your pay. Show me.
Yeah, it's not on there. It's time off.
Why would it not be on here? Because this is a pretty detailed document about what you got paid in January and what you got paid in February. You took 7 days off. Why would it not be reflected on these statements?
Our company doesn't log sick days onto the portal.
But it would be deducted from your pay, right?
It's personal days off. So I took 7 days of personal days off.
You were not deducted pay in January or February. So where would that be reflected if it would not be reflected in your January and February earnings statement?
Our personal days off accrue. So once it accrues, if we leave the company, you could cash out the days that you have left in the company. And that's...
So as of now, nothing has been deducted from your January or February pay?
No.
Okay, that's not what you told me earlier. That's not what you testified to earlier.
It's my personal days. It's my personal days that doesn't come out.
This is your day in court. You got to, if you're going to make this happen, you got to make it happen today. You have to have your evidence and your proof today. Your evidence is really thin, and it's your burden of proof. The issue is it over $4,000 worth of pain and suffering? To me, when you come in here and you tell me that you missed this work, that you missed 7 days of work, that you weren't paid, that you missed a salary, and then you submit statements to me showing that that is not in fact the case, your credibility is sliding here.
I understand.
It's on a slippery slope right now, and it sounds like you're embellishing. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $90 for the doctor bills and prescription bills, your out-of-pocket expenses, plus your court costs. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Today on Judge Faith, was it a Sunday full of praise or parking lot pimping?
I was at church, praising the Lord like I do every Sunday. Everybody from church was leaving out. I was waving, hi, bye, see you later, girl. So he hits my car.
You didn't laugh and say, oh yeah, I was looking at the ladies?
She was being very ghetto fabulous at that time. I guess by me being an older gentleman with gray hairs on my chin, probably thought she can get something done.
Oh, you say she was checking you out?
And later, a puppy unexpectedly crosses over.
If there's ever something wrong with a puppy, I take puppies back. All I get a message, just a plain, she's dead.
She said, well, if I know, you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
I can tell you what the law says, and perhaps that will help give you some clarification.
Plaintiff Desiree Smith says the defendant was parking lot pimping after Sunday church service and smashed into her car. She's suing for the cost of damages. Defendant Donald Young says he accidentally bumped into the car while getting ice cream for his mother, and Desiree is hustling him for money.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Smith versus Young.
Thank you, Juan. Designate Smith?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Donald Young?
Yes.
For $4,200 for damages to your car and repairs that you have to have as a result of an accident?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we start from the very beginning? When was the accident?
The accident was actually March the 8th. It was a Sunday afternoon. I was at church, praising the Lord like I do every Sunday. When I came out of church, I was standing on the sidewalk. Everybody from church was leaving out. I was waving, hi, bye, see you later, girl. And I noticed across the street that this guy was backing up. But typically when somebody's backing up, they look over their right shoulder. He never looked over his shoulder. He looked to the left. He was.
You saw this from across the street? You're watching the defendant backing his car?
I watched the whole thing. I'm standing there and I'm like, well, when is this guy gonna stop backing up? He's not even looking over his shoulder. He's just looking to the left, looking at the church, looking at all the girls walking out the stairs, down the stairs, coming out of the church. So he hits my car. There's a big crunch noise. He like, is this your car? I'm like, yeah, you just hit my car. He was like, oh man, I don't know how I just did that. I'm like, you did it because you was too busy looking across the street, looking at all the girls coming out the church. And he like kind of laughed it off and he's like,
why do you assume he was looking at the ladies coming out of church?
I'm not assuming. He even admitted to it. Yeah, he said, oh man, yeah, you know, basically on his, you know, Mac Daddy, on his Mac Daddy hype. So, no, I'm serious. He was, because he was in like a little red Benz. He had his little Mac Daddy going on. So,
what happened, sir? How did this accident happen?
Your Honor, like she said, it was a Sunday afternoon. I had just
had you been in church too?
Yes,
the same
ma'am.
church?
Yes, no. There's a church around the corner.
Okay.
Where I minister at. As she was saying, I was backing up, and I was backing up cautiously. And I don't need to look over my shoulder to back up when I have side view mirrors. Okay. Well, as I was backing up, a friend of mine was approaching my car.
That's not true.
And I kind of glanced out, and then I did tap her car, which she called a hit.
Well, you call it a tap, she calls it a hit, but you backed into her car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it was parked?
Her car was parked, yes.
So she's in no way at fault for this, right?
None whatsoever.
All right, go ahead.
I asked my friend, I said, did I just bump that car in back of me? Because it was so lightly touched. I thought maybe I ran over a can or something.
That's not true.
And just as I was thinking that, you hit my car, and all so commotion came. Actually, my car, like she said, I was looking at women's. I can say the same as my car is a very attractive car. And so
you say she was checking you out?
More than likely. And so I hear her running, you hit my car, you hit my car. So as I got out the car and I seen all the damage on her car, she showed me her driver's side fender that she claimed that I smashed. And so I'm going, wow.
Did you have previous damage on your car?
No, Your Honor, I didn't have no damage on my car.
None whatsoever?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
This lady didn't see nothing but dollar sign. I was dressed fairly well, and the car that I was driving. And I guess by me being an older gentleman with gray hairs on my chin, probably thought she can get something done. But I was trying to let her know, I'm not no fool about this. I don't drink. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, just so we can clarify this, were you interested in him when you walked over?
Not at all.
Asking about your car?
Not at all.
Okay, sir.
She should have been. But anyway, I was real humble about the whole situation.
Did you have insurance at that time?
No, I didn't have any insurance on the car.
Okay, so you were driving without insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know that's against the law, Pastor?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up, was it damage or dollar signs?
And I offered the money out of my pocket. I even offered, I have a friend that has his own collision auto mechanic shop.
Your Honor, the shop that he is referring to, it's a bunch of crackheads that work at that shop. It's not really no real accredited shop.
And later, a breakdown in communication lands these ladies in court.
When I told her the puppy died, I mean, she said, well, if I know you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
But she stopped talking to me. And then all she says back to me is that the puppy is dead. And I'm trying to say, well, what happened to it? And she starts accusing me that I took her money, and I'm trying to tell her that these puppies mean something to me.
Plaintiff Designate Smith says Donald is making excuses to get out of paying. She's suing for the cost of damages to her car. Defendant Donald Young says the bump was minor and didn't cause real damage.
Okay, what am I looking at in this photo, ma'am?
You're looking at the gap from the bumper and the hood. The space there.
Okay.
Which the detail shop said that since it's hanging like that and that gap is there, that more than likely when they take that stuff off to repair, there's gonna be more repairs underneath there that they're gonna have to fix.
You haven't had the car fixed yet?
No, and that's the fender. It's bent from him backing into it.
Okay, that's the dent
and that's
on
the hood being crushed in.
Okay. And so, sir, how are you able to come into court and say that these damages were already there if you hadn't even seen her car?
That damage you see right there, I would have to been backing pretty hard to cause that type of damage.
So, well, she said that you did. I mean, it's one person's word against another because you agreed to pay for the damages, right? But then she provided you with an estimate and you thought it was too high. So the common argument I hear is, I didn't cause all of that damage. But you have nothing to support that. I know one thing is true. There was an accident and you hit her car in the exact space where she has damage.
Ma'am, in order for me to cause any damage to that extent, I should have had some damage on my car.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
I have seen accidents where people have been rear-ended and there's no damage to one person's car and all the damage is on another person's car. Let me see your car.
That's the back end, that's the rear end of my car.
When were these photos taken?
The same day.
How do I know that?
You don't know that.
You only have one estimate?
Yes, that's why I feel comfortable getting my car fixed.
Well, no, when you come to court, you need to have more than one estimate. The estimate for this car is over $4,000.
I offered her money out of my pocket. And when I told her how much it was, that's not enough. It was over $500 I was just trying to give her. Because she was being very ghetto fabulous at that time.
That's not true, Your Honor. I just left church for praising the
Lord. She was being very ghetto fabulous.
It's not true.
And I offered the money out of my pocket. I even offered, I have a friend that has his own collision auto mechanic shop.
Your Honor, the shop that he is referring to, it's a bunch of crackheads that work at that shop. It's not really no real accredited shop.
How do you know that?
Because it's right around the corner it's right around the corner from my church and his church. So I know exactly what shop he's referring to. And he did offer me a little over $500, but I know that the parts on my car is going to cost more than that. And due to the fact that it's front end damage, I know that there can be more damage underneath.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. There's a principle under the law called total loss threshold. And that is if the damage to your car exceeds a certain percentage of the fair market value of the car, the party at fault can declare it a total loss and pay the fair market value for the car. And in your case, it is $1,136. And I'm going to assume, sir, that based on the estimate she provided of $4,000, that you would choose to pay the fair market value of the car. And I find there are two issues here. There's liability and there's damages. You are obviously liable for this accident. You have come into court today. You tried to minimize the damages, but you don't have any proof that these damages were already on her car.
No,
so I'm ordering you to pay $1,136, the fair market value for the plaintiff's car.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
I want to tell him that he needs to stop parking lot pimping and that, you know, he telling people he a minister at a church. He need to be a real man of God and keep his word when he tells somebody he's going to do something.
What I learned today was not to drive my car without insurance.
Plaintiff Giselle Lobitanya says she was devastated when her toy poodle Coco Light died after 6 days. She's suing for vet bills and other associated costs. Defendant Jessica Hatfield says she doesn't owe anything because the puppy was in Giselle's care when she died. She's countersuing for an overdraft fee and stress.
Giselle Lobitanya?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Jessica Hatfield for $1,500 for the cost of a puppy, vet bills, and other miscellaneous costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $270 for a return check, overdraft fees, and stress?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you. We'll start with you, ma'am. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
Well, sometime second week of February, I was looking for a pup. So I went on eBay and I saw her ad, which is in Clear Lake, 8 hours, about 9 hours away. And so I contacted her. We talked, we text, and she said, you can send me deposit for $100 to reserve the puppy.
Are you a breeder?
I am.
Okay, and what kind of dogs do you breed?
Purebred toy poodles.
How long have you been doing that?
About 6 years.
And how much were you selling this particular dog for?
$550.
Okay, and did you buy the puppy for $550?
Yes.
And you sent that paperwork to her?
Yes.
Because at this point, you'd already paid a $100 deposit, and you're updating her.
I am.
On the status of the puppy.
Yeah, every week I send videos or photos. When I know that owners are waiting for their puppies, I want them to be a part of that process.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the ladies disagree on the details of Coco's final days.
Overnight, I just sleep right there by the kennel, watch my puppy dying.
She didn't tell me anything, and I know that a lot of times vets will offer a mercy killing and to put the puppy down if she was tired of paying vet bills.
Plaintiff Giselle Lobitania says Jessica assured her the puppy was healthy. She's suing for vet bills and other associated costs. Defendant Jessica Hatfield says the toy poodle got sick while in Giselle's care. She's countersuing for an overdraft fee and stress.
You submitted video to court?
I did.
This is one of the videos that you showed, that you sent to the plaintiff?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of dog is it?
A purebred toy poodle.
And how old is the dog at this point?
She was probably about 4 to 5 weeks old out there. She's the most active out of everybody in the litter. They were all sleeping, and Giselle's puppy was always the first one out and running around and trying to wake everybody up and barking at everybody.
Okay. So at some point, you drive the 8-9 hours to her home.
Yeah, on the 21st, the puppies were ready. They had their shots and their dewormers done. She was actually trying to pick the puppy up when it was about 5 weeks old, and I had told her that it was against the law. So.
Okay, and so did she get the puppy before 8 weeks or not?
Only by about a day.
Now, in your state, there's a new law that makes it criminal as a breeder for you to sell a puppy prior to it being 8 weeks old. So why would you take a chance?
That's a good question, Your
It's
Honor.
just because you're in court now
Right.
on a civil case, and you don't want it to turn into a criminal matter for you.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So-
what happens when you pick up the puppy?
So I picked up the puppy.
Did you observe any issues, any medical
No, I
issues?
didn't notice. 2-3 days, she's jolly, wagging her tail. She already recognized me. I thought there's nothing wrong.
You named her at this point,
Cuckoo
right?
Late, yeah.
What is it?
Cuckoo Late.
Coco, okay.
Because she's a chocolate, so I just named her Cuckoo Late. You know,
When
her name
is
right
the
away.
first time you observed that Coco was getting sick?
She doesn't like the dog food that I've
She's
given
not
her.
eating her food. Okay, so what do?
I went to PetSmart, get a milk supplemental, and she's still not eating it. And so I got a syringe, put her in her mouth, she's throwing up. And then I noticed her gums is purple. And that's when I got worried. I took her to the vet.
How many days had you had her then?
On the 6th day, I took her to the vet.
She had had the puppy for a week and 3 days before I had gotten the first text message saying that the puppy was sick. And I had tried to talk to her several times asking, what are you observing that's wrong with the puppy? Does it have a fever? You know, she just said that it was throwing up.
So you said it was 10 days, you say it was 6 days. What happens when you take the puppy to the vet?
The doctor said that her blood pressure is so low, her temperature is so low, and there's something wrong, so they have to run a blood test. The doctor said she's very tiny. You have to give her a drop every 30 to an hour for the medication. Overnight, I did give her a medication and a supplemental food. With all the heartache that I've been through, it's just too much. She will keep the food for like 30 minutes and then throwing it up again. So overnight, I just sleep right there by the kennel and sit by the kennel and watch my puppy dying. Like she's become like skin and bone. I took her to bed 9 a.m. and they did the same thing, recheck everything and still the same thing.
They're not able to diagnose her with anything at that point?
They just say that her body is not responding. By 6 p.m., the puppy died. They called me and the puppy died. Do you want to pick up the body? And I can't even go there.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
When I told her the puppy died, I mean, she's just telling me, like, what you have done. Did you she ate something or whatever? I said, she's dead. And she said, well, if I know, you just put her down because you don't want to pay the vet bills. And I was so angry that I'm being accused of that.
Is that what you told her? When she messaged me, I kept trying to ask her, what's wrong with the puppy? And if she didn't respond to me on anything when I tried to find out what was wrong with it, I said, did it eat something? Because puppies are like toddlers. They can eat anything, you know, around the house that can upset their stomachs. She stopped talking to me. And then all she says back to me is that the puppy is dead. And I'm trying to say, well, what happened to it? And she starts accusing me that I took her money and be happy with it. And I'm trying to tell her that these puppies mean something to me. And if there's ever something wrong with a puppy, I will take a puppy back if it's sick. I will pay all the vet bills. She didn't give me the opportunity to even do that.
You write to her, I'm not saying you poisoned her, but I do believe she ingested something that upset her digestive system. You didn't want to pay the vet bill, so you had her put down. Why would you make that assumption?
Because she didn't tell me anything. And I know that a lot of times vets will offer to put the puppy down if she was tired of paying vet bills. There was no communication as far as what was going on with the puppy. All I get a message, just a plain, she's dead. And I'm like, what?
She took the puppy to the vet twice.
Yes,
I have both of the receipts here.
That I've been through.
And she spent hundreds of dollars. And by the way, I looked at the dates from the text messages. It was the 6th day that she went to the vet, the 6th day that she had the dog. You don't have any evidence or any indication that it's because the puppy ate something. You're speculating what could possibly happen.
Does she have evidence of what was wrong with the puppy?
I can tell you what the law says, and perhaps that will help give you some clarification.
Yes, thank you.
The law, as a breeder in your state, if a dog dies within 15 days of delivery, there's a rebuttable presumption that the dog had some kind of illness at the time of delivery, and all she has to do is to provide vet bills to show that the dog was sick, and she did. I mean, I think you do this as a hobby, but you just need to know what the rules are. What's your counterclaim about?
Her $100 deposit of the check had actually just been taken out of my bank account, which caused me to go overdrawn on some of the bills.
You mean she stopped payment on the check?
Apparently, I didn't know how she could do that many months after.
Out of anger, I'm very angry. If I was able to do more than that, I would do more than that with all the pain that I've been through.
3 months later.
If the circumstances let me, I would take much more than that.
So based on the evidence in this case and the testimony, I'm going to order you to pay her the $550 for the puppy and the $550 for the vet fees. Total judgment, $1,100 for the plaintiff. Your counterclaim is dismissed.
Puppies mean something to me too. And it's not my heart to sell puppies that are not healthy. And I wish I had had the opportunity to help in any way that I can. And the fact that she cut me off from being able to help, because that's my baby too. So.
Right now, I don't have a plan to get another puppy. I'm still trying to get over what happened, but in the future, I will get the same color puppy, same toy poodle, but not anytime soon.
A concerned mother confronts her daughter in court after she moves to California with a boyfriend and starts missing car payments.
I haven't seen her in 6 months, and I do miss my baby.
I just want to know how long I'm going to be paying $400 for this car for. I've already been paying for almost 2 years. I haven't had anything in writing.
I think the bigger issue in this courtroom today is your relationship.
And later, Judge Faith takes a closer look at the car in question.
Was this crack in the windshield before she came to California?
It was a small crack. It spread over the last 6 months.
Okay, you didn't do anything to try to stop it from spreading?
Plaintiff Lisa Batiste says her daughter verbally agreed to make car payments, but has recently stopped making them. She's suing for car payments, parking and toll fees, car repairs, and shipping fees. Defendant Monique Ward says she doesn't owe any money because her mother has been unclear about how much is owed and never gives receipts for payments. She's accompanied in court today by her boyfriend, Jesse Wilson.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Batiste versus Ward.
Thank you, Juan. Lisa Batiste?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Monique Ward. Yes? Is that you? Mm-hmm. For $4,153 you say she owes you for various expenses related to a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and those expenses include 6 months of car payment, 6 months of insurance, tickets and tolls, late fees for those tickets, damaged windshield, and you're also suing for $850 in shipping costs. And you'll explain all of that to me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning and tell me what's going on here? How do you know Miss Ward?
She's my daughter.
Okay.
And Monique is a awesome daughter. She's just young and just irresponsible is what she is. And
How old are you?
22.
Does she live with you?
She did, but now she moved to Long Beach 6 months ago. In 2014, I bought my dream car, so I called Monique.
Let me stop you for a second. Why don't you give me some background and tell me what your relationship is like with your mother prior to this case?
We bump heads every now and then, but I mean, what mom and daughter doesn't bump heads? But we had a good relationship before I left.
What did you move out to California to do?
My boyfriend actually got a job offer, so I wanted to go ahead and go with him and actually start my own career doing makeup.
So you moved all the way to California because he got a job offer?
Well, and to also, build my own career myself.
You didn't wait till you got the ring? I'm just kidding. That's your decision. Are you the boyfriend?
Yes, you're
Okay, all right. So you move out with him, and the two of you have been out here for 6 months?
Yes.
And you're now working, and I understand that that's where the car becomes an issue.
Correct.
What kind of car is it, ma'am?
A 2010 Hyundai Sonata.
Tell me what happens with the car.
In 2014, I bought my dream car, and Monique was living with her girlfriend at the time.
What's your dream car?
A 2013 Volvo S6060.
Okay. I thought you were going to say a Tesla. But that's
I don't
okay.
know. That's out of my price range.
Okay.
So I called her up, and I said, Monique, do you want to use the car because you don't have a car?
The 2010, so you didn't trade that car in, you kept it?
I kept it, correct. So I said, do you want to use the car? I said, pay $300 of the car payment, pay me $100 for insurance, and you can use the car just to make sure you take care of it. And that was our agreement. So
she agreed to pay the payments every month?
Yes, and she did awesome.
Was she working at the time?
Yes, she was. She did good for the first year. She was a little late, but she always gave me the money. When November came, when she moved out to Long Beach, that's when everything stopped.
So she took the car. Did you drive the car out to Long Beach?
We hooked it onto the U-Haul.
And you gave her permission to bring the car out to California?
Yes, because she was a good payer, up until then. So I didn't see any reason for not to think that it was going to stop the
So
payments.
what has happened since then? You're suing her now for $4,000. You're saying she hasn't paid a single car note since she moved to California?
Correct.
So
Yes.
what's going on?
Well, back in 2014, I went with my mother to a Volvo dealership. In my head, I'm thinking she's looking for a car. I'm here to help her look for a car, whatever. We get there, the car's already picked out. She's signing to get the car and taking the car off the lot. She gives me the car and tells me, here's the car. We can talk about the payments later, and which we did. We came to the $400 agreement. But when she went to the dealership and got the Volvo, we did not discuss on me getting the car. She pretty much just handed me the car.
But eventually you do have that discussion, and the agreement is $400.
Yes.
And you start paying that. Because you don't have to drive her car, this car, right? You can get a car on your own, but you agree, I'll drive this car and I'll pay $400 a month. And how long did you make those $400 payments?
Up until I came out here.
So it was over a year, right?
Yes, yeah, way over a year.
So what happens when you come out here? You haven't paid anything in 6 months?
I have. I'm pretty sure she has bank statements on where I have transferred her money.
So you have paid car notes?
Yeah, it has not been the full $400, but I have, weekly sent her $100, sent her what I could.
So you've kind of paid sporadically in smaller increments?
Yes.
How much have you paid in 6 months? You didn't keep track?
At least $1,000.
Has she sent you money?
I got one payment, which was her tax return, which was $147, and she has paid one $50 toll ticket.
Okay, so let's just assume you paid $1,000. That's $166 a month instead of $400 a month. So what's going on? Why all of a sudden are you short every month?
Well, I did, once I transferred jobs out here to California, it did take me about a month to go ahead and get on my feet and get caught up on all my bills. She knew everything that was going on. It wasn't like she had no idea where I was at or where the money was or anything.
I guess that just doesn't answer my question, which is, why are you short every month? Is it just a financial issue? I can't make these payments anymore?
Well, yes, and it was because we just got out here, we were new to the area. So yes, of course, parking tickets came, started piling up, and I definitely paid more than one parking ticket.
What do you mean, of course? Where are you parking?
Downtown Long Beach, there's no parking there.
So you just park where you want?
No,
and just deal with it later?
The street sweeping is what got me.
How many tickets have you received?
Well, I probably 10.
That's a lot of tickets.
Coming up, unpaid parking tickets add more fuel to the Family Feud fire.
I wanted to pay the rest of the car off, and all she sent me in the mail was a toll ticket and said that you guys need to pay for this.
But you're not making the monthly payment, so
yes, but
that's
if
not
I
really
can't get anything in writing, I feel like I'm just paying for her new car.
Plaintiff Lisa Batiste says Monique agreed to take over her car payments, but moved to California and stopped paying. She's suing for car payments, parking and toll fees, car repairs, and shipping fees. Defendant Monique Ward says she doesn't owe any money because she made some of the payments. She's accompanied in court today by her boyfriend, Jesse Wilson.
Okay, why don't you stand up, sir? Walk over to the lectern. So, are you driving this car as well? Are you?
Your Honor, I live 2 blocks away from my job, and I actually work remote. I work from home. So,
okay.
No. And
so,
I'm in school now, working on my master's.
Do you have your own
I
car?
Uber.
You Uber?
I don't need a car right now, but I have.
Have you driven this car in the 6 months?
Yes.
Okay, so when you want a car, you use this one too, right?
No, I rent a vehicle. I have rented at least a vehicle maybe 30 or 40 times since I've been here.
30 or 40 times in 6 months?
Yes.
Rather than use your girlfriend's car that's right there
Well, she
at the house.
She has to get to work. She works every day. I work as well. So if I have to go somewhere for work or if I have to go to school, times conflict. And
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why you aren't chipping in to help out with this car too.
Their agreement was pre-existing to when I had met her, and I had offered to pay off the balance on the car. But again, their agreement was all verbal. There was nothing in writing. And I mean, I've been around a little bit longer to know that that's not a good idea for me. So I said, if I can pay off the car, I'll write a check for it, but I need information from the bank or I need information from the car dealership. And I believe she sent a text message saying it was $5,560 and it'll be paid off in February. And from then I was just like, things aren't adding up with the amount that would be paid off in the payments.
Did they offer to pay off the car? Was that a discussion?
It was through a tax, and it wasn't legit because they couldn't make a regular car payment. So how can I trust them wanting to pay off the car?
Well, I guess because now Mr. Wilson is getting involved, and that's what he's offering as a resolution. But you felt like they didn't have the money to do that.
Correct. And when I sent the payoff, which was less than what the actual payoff is, which is the payoff is $7,000 something, even the $5,000 they disputed. So how are they going to take my correct payoff serious?
So here's what you want. You want the car back. You want to actually take this car back to Georgia because it's in your name. She has it all the way out in California. She's getting tickets, at least 10 that you admit to. She's not paying the tickets, obviously, right? Because we wouldn't be here today if these tickets were paid, and she's having trouble paying the car payments and the insurance, and this is all in your name.
Correct.
And so I'm assuming that you are concerned about a car being in your name because if there's an issue, if there's an accident, if something happens, the car is still in your mother's name. What is your defense to why you're not willing to give her the car back at this point if you can't afford to pay for it?
She didn't say, I wanted to pay the rest of the car off. All she sent was a text message, and I asked her if she could send me anything else, and all she sent me in the mail was a toll ticket and said that you guys need to pay for this. So I asked her to send me the car payments or something in writing, the balance on the car or how much I need to owe, and she could not send me that. She just sent me another.
But you understand, but you're not paying. You're not making the monthly payment, so
yes. But
that's
if
not
I
really
can't get anything in writing, I feel like I'm just paying for her new car.
But you have a car.
Yes.
Well, I don't understand what the issue is with you being hung up on something that's in writing. You have a car that you're driving. Even if it's paid off, the agreement is you pay her $300 and $100 for insurance. So you either pay your mother or you pay someone else to drive a car. Unless you're going to outright pay cash for it, you're going to be paying someone. So who you're going to pay? Your mother or a loan company?
Coming up on Judge Fade, the car is examined outside the courtroom.
What about this damage over here on the side?
Well, the tie shows how irresponsible they are because it shouldn't be so low. That's not safe to be driving on.
Plaintiff Lisa Batiste says Monique needs a lesson in responsibility. She's suing for car payments, parking and toll fees, car repairs and shipping fees. Defendant Monique Ward says she doesn't owe because there's no written agreement. She's accompanied in court today by her boyfriend, Jesse Wilson.
What is your relationship with Mr. Wilson?
Nothing at all. I don't even know him, just a little bit. By a couple of times he came over to my home, but ever since him and Monique's been together, she's different. Her friends are no longer her friends. She's a changed person. Her irresponsibleness has just escalated, and with her being...
You think Mr. Wilson is responsible for that? He seems to be a
I'm actually
pretty
working on a
responsible.
master's
He's
degree
getting
right
his
now.
master's degree. He's working full
Well, he's an
time.
older
What do you
guy.
think the issue is?
He's an older guy, so he should be telling her...
He's
hey,
4 years older. She's 22. He's 26.
Correct. There was a car accident that Monique was in that also, kind of escalated our relationship. I actually kind of helped her. And even when that car accident happened, I thought that would have raised her responsibility as far as taking ownership of
A
all
car
her...
accident in this car?
Yes.
Okay, but you have insurance on this car, right?
Correct.
So she wasn't responsible for, I'm assuming, any out-of-pocket expenses related to that?
Correct, and that was all on me. And I think that was my major mistake, because I should have gave her a little bit more responsibility, let her kind of accept that a little bit more than what I did.
Okay, where's the car now?
It's in the parking lot.
Okay, you drove it here today? Are you alleging that there are any damages on the car?
Well, when she left Georgia, it was a small crack on the windshield. She did tell me that the crack is larger than what it was. That's all that I know of as far as now.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I want to go out, and you said the car is parked outside. We're going to take a recess. I'm going to go out and take a look at the car just to examine the condition that it's in. Do you have the keys with you?
Yes.
Okay, can you give them to my bailiff, please? We're in recess. Okay, let me just take a look. So, was this crack in the windshield before she came to California?
Not so severe.
Okay, but it was a crack there, and it
Yes.
just spread. Okay, let me just look around. Okay, so the car is in pretty good shape. No major accidents or any major damage. I see there are a couple of scratches, and this crack on the windshield is a little bit longer, as you claim. What's your testimony about what that looked like before she left to come out to California 6 months ago?
It wasn't so severe. It was a small crack.
Okay, and Ms. Ward, what's your testimony about that? What happened?
The crack was only about 6 inches once I left, and it spread over the last 6 months.
Okay, you didn't do anything to try to stop it from spreading?
No, ma'am.
Is that true? The crack was 6 inches?
I'm not sure about the 6 inches, but it was there before she left, yes.
And what about this damage over here on the side?
Well, the tie shows how irresponsible they are because it shouldn't be so bald. It's a safety issue. That's not safe to be driving on.
So now that I've had the opportunity to see the car firsthand, Ms. Batiste and Ms. Ward, let's go back in court and I'll tell you how we're going to resolve this case today.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So before I talk about the car and how we're going to resolve the case with the car, I think the bigger issue in this courtroom today is your relationship. I mean, you're suing your 22-year-old daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's going to happen after you leave court today?
I'm going to give her a hug, and we're going to build our relationship, get more closer. This was a lesson learned. I think it was an eye-opener for Monique to see that, life is serious. Because she's a good kid, and I want her to be successful.
What do you have to say, Ms. Ward?
I just want to know how long I'm going to be paying $400 for this car for. I mean, I've already been paying for almost 2 years. I haven't had anything in writing.
I understand the issue with the car. We're going to talk about that. But the bigger issue is the relationship with your mother.
I mean, we'll definitely fix our communication and, learn to hear each other out and work things out.
So you haven't seen her in the 6 months that you've been out
ma'am.
here?
No.
Okay, so this is your first time seeing her today?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And do you miss that relationship at all?
Yes, I do.
And I would like to hug her because I do miss her. And like I said, I haven't seen her in 6 months, and I do miss my baby. Can I hug her?
Sure, by all means. She said, "I got my hug, now I want my money."
Oh, right.
That's what she whispered to you. I caught it. I can read lips. So let's talk about the car. You said that you use Uber a lot?
Yes, sure.
Y'all gonna have to Uber home today, all right?
Okay.
Because the car is going back to your mother. If you're not gonna make payments, and from the sounds of it, you can't afford to keep the car. Here's what I'm going to do. You owe tickets on the car. May I see the tickets, please? You have to pay your own tickets, that's for sure. Thank you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to order you to return the car to your mother today. You're going to hand over the keys to her today. She takes the car back. What are you going to do for her car now?
I'm going to buy her one.
You're going to buy one?
Yeah.
Okay. Juan, would you hand the plaintiff the car keys, please?
Thank you.
You're suing for over $4,000. Clearly, they don't have that kind of money to pay you, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up with a decision I think will be equitable and fair for all parties involved, and you can get the car back to Georgia. So I'm going to order her to pay the $850 for the shipping, in addition to 1 month of a back car note and insurance, in addition to the tickets and the tolls. That's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor, $1,711. I wish all of you the best.
I feel getting the car back was a good thing because now I can take care of it and sell it or do what I need to do with it, and it's no longer Monique's responsibility.
I think that she needed the car back. It was in her name, it was hers, so I'm glad that she's able to get it back. Now that this is over, I think our relationship will improve, and I think that she'll definitely be back to California to come see me.
They say his snowplow smashed into her Solara.
So as I was going, it hit my side, my right side.
If I had been actually in motion, I would have pushed all of this in the side of her car.
We have two completely different stories about how this accident occurred.
And later, a lease renewal gets personal.
She said, I think you should know this, ... And I said, oh, wow, that's great. Congratulations, in caps via text. You could tell that she was not happy. I love the way she tells me how I feel, for one thing.
When she found out we were moving, she became very vindictive, very mean.
So you said congratulations, you say she lost it.
Plaintiffs Saucy and Victor Masmadian say the defendant was operating a snowplow with no registration or insurance when he backed into her car. They're suing for car rental fees and an insurance deductible. Defendant James Braun says he owes nothing because he was on private property when Saucy's car skidded on the snow and swerved into a snowplow.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is a case of Masmadian and Masmadian versus Braun.
Thank you, Juan. Victor and Saucy Masmadian?
Correct.
You were suing the defendant, James Braun, for $651. $500 of that is an insurance deductible and the rest in rental car fees for an accident you say you had with him, ma'am?
That's correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning? Tell me what happened here.
On January 24th in the morning, I was coming from work. I'm a registered nurse. I work at Norwalk Hospital in Connecticut. And I was returning back from work, and it was a snowy night. The snow, I don't believe it was snowing.
What time of day was this?
It was about between 9:30 and 10 o'clock in the morning. 9:30,
okay.
Let's say, yeah. A couple of blocks away from our house.
Do we have a photo of the area? Okay, is this the street?
Yes, ma'am.
That's
okay,
right.
Why don't you walk over to the flat screen and just describe to me where you were, which direction you were traveling.
Okay. The house that I was coming this direction, this is the driveway that was the plow truck. I was on this area. Before the driveway, I noticed the car coming out. So the plow truck. So therefore, I stopped. Meanwhile, I see an opposite direction car coming this way.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped. I guess we both saw the plow truck, so we all stopped. So then when he stopped also, the other opposite car went this way. And so he passed. So now I'm still staying here to go that direction. So I start driving. I figure it's my right of way, I'm going. As I was almost to the beginning of the driveway, I see the plow truck start coming out again. And then when I noticed that he's not stopping, I honked my horn, and it was slippery roads. So I could not stop right away. So therefore, he came out of the driveway almost to this area, the back of the truck. And I was in this, so as I was going, it hit my side, my right side.
Okay, why don't you step back over? And what kind of car were you driving?
Toyota Solara.
Okay. What do you say happened?
What, may I approach the?
Yes.
Okay. What happened is, I had started plowing this driveway, and it goes about, the apron of the driveway is about 30 feet across this way. Mrs. Masmanian was right here in the road. I was in the driveway backblading from the garage. There was an oil truck coming up this way. Because the car parked here, she had to stop, and I stopped just not to make anybody nervous. But once the oil truck passed by, I started to back up, and I had no reason to exit the driveway because there's so much width here that all I have to do is backblade the snow and then push it off to each side.
So you're saying you never...
I never left the driveway. I never went past this point of the driveway.
So how do you say the accident happened?
I was already stopped, and then she hit the brakes, lost control, and scraped the whole side of her car on the back of my truck.
Okay, why don't you step over? So is what he's saying true, that your car slid into his plow?
No, because I know for sure we had all stopped.
Coming up, details emerge that make one of these litigants wish they'd taken a snow day.
I have no evidence of how this accident happened.
I can prove it with the damage.
How can you do that, sir?
And later, was it a rental or a relationship?
She wanted us to leave the house in the same condition we moved into it in. I couldn't put the fleas back in the house.
Plaintiff Saucy and Victor Masmanian say the defendant backed into their car. They're suing for car rental fees and an insurance deductible. Defendant James Braun says he owes nothing because he was not at fault for the accident.
Did you tell her that she should report this as a hit and run?
No, I never said that. In fact, Mr. Masmanian said to me, he said, well, you don't have insurance, so if you want to, you can go ahead and flee the scene. I'll just tell them it was a hit and run.
That is absolutely not true. I came out of my car, I assessed the damage. It is then that he told me, just like I told your wife, that you can report this as a hit and run, and
I didn't say that.
You will be fully paid. I said, that is committing fraud. I refuse to do that. Then he told me to look at the damage and tell me how much am I willing to accept as half payment. I looked at the damage. I assessed it at $4,000.
Did you offer to pay for damages?
Never.
And he said, there is no way I can pay you $2,000. Then
this conversation never happened?
Not this way.
That is so not true. Then he asked me, how much is our deductible? And I said, $500. Then I said, well, what are you saying? He says, I can do $200.
The police described this as a minor accident that occurred partially on private property. I have no evidence of if any statements were taken at the scene, how this accident happened, who's at fault.
What about a letter from my insurance says clearly that they investigated and they determined
because we
it was
all
his
know
fault.
Insurance companies are out for the truth, right?
I can prove it with the damage.
How can you do that, sir?
Okay, if I had been moving.
Do you have a photo of the damage to her car, please?
I've got one on my phone. Can I approach?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so my truck was right over here, and you can see that the contact started at this point. If I had been moving, the damage to the car would have been progressively worse as it went by, because I would have been in motion. So if you notice that this scrape, it's the same consistency. Actually, it starts here and it gets lighter, like she turned away or just went right by. But if I had been actually in motion, I would have pushed all of this in the side of her car. I was stopped. So the reason she slid and she hit my car and she scraped her car along my stopped truck.
Thank you. Juan, I have a question for you. You worked in, you did patrol and you responded to accidents like this, right? Neighborhood accidents. Who has the right of way when someone's driving down the street and there's another vehicle entering or exiting a driveway, based on your experience?
Generally, the vehicle that's traveling on the straightaway has to have the responsibility to be more cautious of its surroundings for pedestrians and vehicles coming out of the driveways.
Here's what we have in this case. We have two completely different stories about how this accident occurred, your version, and no independent, objective testimony or police report that corroborates what either of you are saying. Here's what you said that I have an issue with. You told me you saw him and you honked your horn. that tells me that you knew that something might happen. You didn't know if he saw you coming down the road. And just like my bailiff here just testified in court, you have the right of way. You have a duty to notice your surroundings. You saw the plow and you kept driving, apparently. You have the burden of proof in this case. This is your lawsuit. You have the burden of proof that he should be responsible for damages because this accident is his fault. And you have not proved that to my satisfaction today. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Plaintiffs Lori and Monty Phelps say their former landlord was outraged when she learned they'd bought a house and were moving. They're suing for the return of a security deposit. Defendant Erica Smith says the Phelps were bullies who left her rental home in disrepair and made it difficult for her to show it to future tenants. She's countersuing for breach of contract and repairs.
Lori and Monty Phelps?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Erica Smith for $1,500, the return of a security deposit?
Yes.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $1,800 for additional damages you say they caused to your home in breach of contract?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me what's going on here.
I met Erica when we went to lease the house back in April of 2011. Very pleasant individual. The house was really nice. We seemed like a good fit.
Was it just the two of you moving in to the home?
Just the two of us moving in, and we had told Erica that we really, since we're a little bit older, we like to have our privacy, and we had no children except grandchildren, wanted a pool, and so the house fit the bill perfectly, and she was really a nice person, so we thought it would be a good fit.
Right, you stayed there for 4 years.
Yes, we did.
Right, and so what were they like as tenants?
They were great. I loved it. It was a wonderful relationship for 4 years.
So what happened?
Well, we had told Erica when we signed the second lease that we were going to try and start looking into purchasing our own home. It had been a while and we wanted to do that. So she said, great, she was all for it. I wrote Erica, I texted her, let her know what was going on. And at first it was a, what? You didn't tell me that this was going to be happening. You said you'd give me 90 days.
Were you upset because they were just letting you know about this?
Actually, she responded to a text that I had sent her that I was dropping the renewal offer in the mail. She said, I think you should know this, ... And I said, oh, wow, that's great. Congratulations, in caps via text.
So you said congratulations.
Yes.
You say she lost it.
She gets upset right away because we had said about a month or two prior to that when she'd sent us texts, are you guys going to stay in the house? Yes, we were, because really we didn't even know we were going to buy the house until mid-February.
So what happened when you notify her that you're now looking into buying this home and you may be moving out fairly soon when the lease is up? Did you ask to stay that month in April?
Not yet, not yet at that point. She had started saying, things are going to change if you are going to stay. I'm going to be putting some new things in the lease. There's going to be a whole lot more in there.
Why is that?
It started going on, and in the way that she was saying it to me was very quick, very cut and dry. You could tell that she was not happy. And I said, at that point, I said, maybe I don't want to sign another lease.
Well, what do you think she's upset about? Because you're leaving?
Because of the fact that we were 4-year tenants, and we were good tenants, and she was going to lose us as tenants. That's what I believe.
But you didn't expect them to stay there forever.
I love the way she tells me how I feel, for one thing.
When she found out we were moving, she became very vindictive, very mean. Everything she had to say to us was just like not right.
Mara, can I
wrong,
see some of this?
you know?
Hold on a second. I want to hear. You have your opportunity. Go ahead.
I had planned on painting the entire inside of her house. I had already done one room when we contacted her.
Before you moved out?
Before we moved out.
That was nice. It's not something you have to do.
I wanted to give her the best chance I could for her to rent the property.
So she tells you she's keeping the security deposit, the entire security deposit.
Yes.
You did a walkthrough?
Yes, we did a final walkthrough with her.
And you said the police were there?
The police
were
there.
What happened? Tell me. This is the first time I've heard of the police showing up for a walkthrough.
Coming up on Judge Faith, more details about the deduction.
You've deducted $552 from their security deposit for mileage. What is that about? Were the workers coming from New York to California?
Plaintiffs Monty and Lori Phelps say their former landlord threatened to find everything she could to deduct from their deposit when they moved. They're suing for their security deposit. Defendant Erica Smith says the Phelps trashed her rental home. She's countersuing for breach of contract and repairs.
Who called the police?
She did.
Why?
After finding out all of this stuff that went on in the house that I had no idea about.
What stuff are you talking about?
Well, distinct marijuana smells. 4 pets stink the whole backyard.
You had 4 pets?
4 cats, and
we did not.
How do you know she had pets?
Because she told me she did.
Okay, did you have any animals in the house?
I have a diabetic medical alert dog that I've had since October.
And did you let her know that you were going to have this dog in the house?
No, I did not.
Okay, so inside of the home, you said it was a smell of marijuana. And do you have any, were you guys smoking weed?
We were not smoking any
marijuana. So let's move past that. Why are you keeping the $1,500?
Okay.
You mentioned the stench. What else? Do you have photos you want to show me?
Photos of the house, yes.
Walk over to the flat screen and show me what you're telling me. You kept a part of their security deposit for what reason? Show me.
This is her gardening and everything, and just these were supposed to be kept trimmed back so that the leaves don't come in the pool. They don't cause damage.
Let's go to the next photo. Okay, so what's the issue here?
I'm just showing that when you rent a property...
That's a garage. Is that not a garage?
It's a garage full of stuff,
garage,
yes.
Your Honor.
Housekeeping issues.
I mean, so can't they keep the stuff in the garage like they want to?
absolutely can, Your Honor.
Okay, so what's the reason for showing me this photo?
I'm sorry?
What's the reason for showing me this photo?
I'm just showing overall neglect of the home because what I charged for was excessive cleaning inside of cupboards.
Okay,
this home
what
is
is
a
this?
beautiful home.
What is
These
this
are just
now?
cobwebs.
You can step back over to the left.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
so it looks beautiful.
It looks shiny, but if you open cupboards, there's grime and grease. And
Okay. Let me stop you. Right there. How long have you been a landlord?
5 years.
Okay. I'm going to explain something to you.
Okay.
They are only responsible for damages beyond normal wear and tear.
Correct.
And they've lived in this home for 4 years.
Yes.
You've deducted $552 from their security deposit for mileage. What is that about? Were the workers coming from New York to California?
I live in Laguna Beach. The house is in Visalia, 240 miles each way.
You're deducting your mileage. That's not allowable, ma'am.
Well,
you cannot deduct your mileage from their security deposit. You have deducted $970 for labor.
Yes.
These are the things I have a problem with.
Okay.
You charged them 3.5 hours to clean the kitchen.
Yes.
The shelves had crumbs, you said, grease primarily on the interior. The exterior had some splatters and buildup on the facing. You do understand they lived in this home for 4 years.
I do understand that, and I also do understand that they were supposed to return it in the condition it was. It's in the lease, Your Honor.
No. I'm telling you, that's not possible. Your standards, what you're asking of someone who's lived in a, you're deducting because you said there were cobwebs in the home and you had to remove dust.
I have to agree with you. I'm sorry.
You had to remove dust.
We all have a different perspective, and it's subjective.
And when I have someone who comes in and they've deducted for things clearly they shouldn't be deducting for, it makes me question everything else that you're putting on this list.
Yes, and I agree. And I got counseling on that, Your Honor. I got counseling on that.
And then on top of that, you had a tenant move in there 3 weeks later. So it could not have been that bad.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Tell me about the service dog that you had in the home. You did not tell her about it. And what's the reason? Why didn't you tell her?
I didn't tell her because the dog does not violate a pet policy. It's a service animal. She is a diabetic medical alert dog, and we work as a team.
But why wouldn't you just let her know, just as a courtesy?
To tell you the truth, the reason I didn't is because I felt that she would use it against me in some way. Just because of the fact that she'd said things about the feral cats that were there. She said she wanted all of the animals destroyed that were on the property, that they were nothing but fecal matter to her.
She wanted us to leave the house in the same condition we moved into it in. I couldn't put the fleas back in the house.
Okay, no, I'm asking you. Okay, so listen, you're not substantiating your claim here that you have a right to keep their security deposit because by all intents and purposes, from what I've seen, they left the home pretty immaculate.
Very on the inside, yes.
But I do think that you should have given her notice that you were bringing in a service dog into your home, because even though I understand you say it's for your disability and you're allowed to have it in the home,
Yes.
but you're still living in someone else's property, and they've asked to be notified if you're bringing an animal into the home. So I think that you had to do that. So I do consider that to be a partial breach of the contract. So here's what I'm going to do. On your counterclaim, I see that you're just countersuing for basically all of the items you deducted from their security deposit in any event. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff is $1,000.
I've learned to take lots of pictures, stay prepared, write down everything, document everything.
And we're our own landlords now, so.
We don't have to worry about it.
Obviously, I disagree with what they said about my vindictiveness, and I didn't want to renew the lease, but I did. I'm happy they have a home, and I'm happy that we can all move on from this.
These two jailbirds were cellmate besties until one of them broke the house rules.
I called her parole officer and I said, well, do you want to come get her, or would you like me to hand deliver her back to prison? She's broke house rules and I'm done.
She was calling me, texting me, cursing me out, calling me everything but the child to God.
Not
Because
true.
I wasn't taking care of her like I said I would do.
You end this letter with, "Goodbye, B. The devil and worse awaits your arrival."
And later, a beautifully remodeled rental transforms into a trash can.
I have a beautiful home that I take very much pride in.
Me and my son, we were standing in the kitchen and I heard a big, popping noise, and my refrigerator started to spark and everything went out in the house.
Because you're alleging she's tearing it up on purpose?
Plaintiff Acacia Dolphin says she loaned her former jailhouse bunkmate money, but when she allowed her to move into her home, everything went haywire. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Nancy Diaz says they were best friends and she's hurt by the actions of her former roommate, but she doesn't owe anything because the money was a gift.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Dolphin versus Diaz.
Thank you, Juan. Acacia Dolphin?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant, Nancy Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,888 for unpaid loans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? How do you know Ms. Diaz?
I met Nancy Diaz in Maricopa County Jail in April of 2010. I had a small warrant out for my arrest. I had missed a court date in Florida because I was having emergency surgery and the judge didn't
What do you mean
believe
by
it.
small warrant?
I was involved in a criminal case, falsely accused of child abuse, which has been dropped and I have won. While I was in county jail, she was my bunkie. She was the gal next to me in the county jail bunk system, and we became friends. And so once I got out, she started writing me and being.
What were you in jail for?
Sales of methamphetamine, Your Honor.
Did you plead guilty or did you go to trial?
I was guilty.
Okay, when did you get out?
I got out February 19, 2014.
And then after she left, that was in 2013?
2010, Your Honor.
So when you get out in 2010, you remain in contact with her throughout the rest of her sentence all the way through 2014?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what happens?
We started building a friendship through telephone calls and letters, and I started visiting her in November of 2010 and continuously visit her when my time allowed until she got out in February of 2014.
And how would you describe this relationship with her?
I didn't believe that she would still be in my life after we left county jail and I went to prison, but it did happen. And I was grateful for it.
Why are we here? You're now suing her. You say that she owes you almost $3,000 in unpaid loans. Tell me about that.
I sent her money while she was in prison. She was in a women's program for about 18 months, which was a 5 to 8 hour day program, so she was unable to work while in that program. And it was supposed to be making her a better person and deal with life and come out the other side of prison and be a good citizen.
Okay.
So being an ordained minister, I thought this was a good cause.
You're an ordained minister?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you been ordained?
Since 2000.
How is she supposed to pay you back? She has no money. She's incarcerated.
She was due to get out. When she got out, she had promised she would not only
4
pay...
years later?
Yes, ma'am.
So how much did you send her? And in what intervals?
It was anywhere from $25 up to $80 a month. I have those records if you'd like to see that.
I'd love to see it.
And
so what would you do? Put this on her?
I never agreed to pay anything back, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the conversation that you had with her about the money that you were sending her?
She was going to cook and clean for me and take care of me since I do have several health issues.
Starting in October of 2010, all the way through October 2013, you would send, according to your records, you send her money in $15 and $20 and $40 intervals over the course of these 3 years. And it's your testimony here that you made it clear to her that these were loans and this was money that would be paid back. That's your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not true, Your Honor.
And then she was going to move into my house, which she did, but she only lasted 14 days because she broke the house rules.
You're not contesting that she sent you this money.
No,
But
ma'am,
you're
I'm not.
contesting it was a loan. Tell me
I'm contesting
your
it was a
position.
loan. I told her, I have no way of paying you back. I don't know what my life is going to be like when I get out of prison. She goes, well, when you move in, we'll just, you bring me to the doctors, clean, whatever. I did agree to do those things when I lived in her home. I came out of prison with a broke foot. So I couldn't even get work when I came out of prison because I was on crutches. I owe her legitimately $130. That's it. Nothing more. That was for a bicycle that she bought me so I could get back and forth when I got my job.
So there was this agreement that she would get out in 2014 and take care of you?
Yes, and within 4 days, she's putting a cigarette in my face going, do you mind if I go out on the patio and smoke this, Your Honor? My rules are you do not smoke. You do not smoke in my house or on my property, in my life around me. And so she didn't smoke it that day, and 3 days later, I found a cigarette butt in my toilet, and I was livid. I picked it up out of the toilet. I called her parole officer, and I said, well, do you want to come get her, or would you like me to hand deliver her back to prison? She's broke house rules, and I'm done. And within 4 days, her parole officer moved her out of my house.
Coming up, a promise made in prison can't be kept.
What happened to the promises, I'll take care of you when you get sick or you get hurt? She tells me she's busy and got a boyfriend and
So that's what this is really about.
And later, one of their stories is full of holes.
She put a piece of cardboard in a mat over the hole, trying to cover it. And the repairman, as he was leaving the home, he stepped on it, not knowing that it was a hole underneath, and he almost fell through it.
Plaintiff Acacia Dolphin says her former friend broke all the house rules, and now she wants her money back with interest. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Nancy Diaz says she's shocked by her former cellmate's behavior, and she owes nothing because there was never an expectation to pay the money back.
Why are you just bringing this lawsuit now a year later?
I've been trying to get her to have morally correct and hoping that she would step up and do what's morally correct. Now that she has a job and a good paying job, I was hoping that the good person that I thought she had turned into, I visited her in prison.
It was because of a protection order.
She was going to actually pay her bill and pay her debt.
Why do you say she brought this lawsuit?
She didn't bring the lawsuit till after I tried to serve her with an order of protection, which I have here.
Why did you try to serve her with an order of protection?
Because I was getting emails from her, phone calls late at night. I work, Your Honor, I'm a truck driver. I work late hours. She was calling me, texting me, cursing me out, calling me everything but the child of God. Because I wasn't taking care of her like I said I would do.
You're suing for $1,400 in cash, you say you loaned to the defendant. What is the $874 in food package reimbursement? What is that about?
You can send care packages. You can order online through a company and send care packages of goodies and food and snacks into people in prison. And at that time, she was working. So now she had her own money coming in from a job.
So you want her to reimburse you for care packages that you sent to her in prison as well?
Absolutely. Several
May I see your evidence?
I need to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm giving you. And, oh, wait, sir. This is the order of protection order that I put against her. Grant you, it's very graphic from an ordained minister.
I've read a lot of text messages and letters where people curse people out and tell them off. I have to tell you, this is the worst I've ever seen.
Over 500,
Your
just
Honor,
like
for
that.
someone who said she was promised she'd take care of me when I got
You
ill.
end this letter with, we all hope you die a horrible, horrendous, blood-peeling, tear-jerking death. Goodbye, B. The devil and worse awaits your arrival.
But what happened to the promises, I'll take care of you when you get sick or you get hurt, and I end up in a nasty car wreck, and when I ask her to help take care of me and take me grocery shopping and take me to the doctor, she tells me she's busy and got a boyfriend and
So that's
doesn't
what
care.
this is really about. Whether it's justified or not, she feels that when you got out of prison and you gained your freedom, you turned your back on her in her time of need, but she was there for you in your time of need.
Absolutely.
But the issue is, ma'am, I do not believe that this money that you sent to her over the course of 3 years, I don't believe for a second that it was ever meant to be a loan. Perhaps she wasn't a good friend when she got out of prison to you. That doesn't turn what were clearly gifts and care packages you sent to help her out into a loan. You concede that you owe her $130 for the bicycle that you purchased for you. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $130.
Karma was served.